Are you afraid of tofu? It's okay. Honestly, I was too. Tofu is not very good unless you cook it the right way. So today I'm gonna show you how to make tofu actually taste good. You'll want to start by buying some extra firm tofu. If you buy super firm tofu, you don't have to press it, but with the extra firm, it does help if you take out all the extra water. I really love my little tofu press, and it is linked in the description below. So you'll open up the package and then we'll drain this water and we'll put the tofu in our tofu press. Super simple. And then wait just a couple minutes. Now the secret for making tofu taste good on your very first time of actually making tofu is to not cube it in the typical cubed tofu pattern. If you tear it instead, it looks more like chicken nuggets and it allows the flavor to really seep into the tofu. Tofu is pretty bland on its own, so you need to add flavor to it. All right, I pressed it just for about 3 minutes. We'll dump out that excess liquid and then tear it up. Now this method works even better if you freeze the tofu, then thaw the tofu, then tear it, because it allows it to be more sponge-like. But as a mom of 6, I don't really take the time to do that extra step. My kids will eat it like this and it's just faster and easier. Now I'm about to teach you how to fish and not just give you a fish. I mean like a tofu fish. I want to show you how you can make this recipe without actually having to look up a recipe every time. So you can just whip up some tofu in 4 minutes flat. Some delicious tofu. Let's mix our dry ingredients together first. So this can be however you want to mix it, but a safe bet is to always do a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. These two are like the holy grail of spices. In pretty much every recipe, you can never go wrong with doing a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now the next spices are optional. I'm just gonna add about a half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm even just gonna sprinkle it in there. Again, totally optional. If you don't like paprika, don't use it. And the other option is nutritional yeast. If you don't have this in your pantry, no worries, you can leave this out. It's not necessary. I just love the added flavor that nutritional yeast brings. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Again, you can always switch that up with how much or how little you like nutritional yeast. But what you don't want to skip out on is the cornstarch. If you're allergic to cornstarch, you can always use arrowroot powder or potato starch, or even tapioca starch. But 2 tablespoons is what you'll need. 1 and 2. So here's our dry ingredients. Before we put the dry ingredients on, we'll add the wet ingredients to the bowl of tofu and then top with the dry ingredients. For the wet ingredients, we'll use low sodium soy sauce and a dash of maple syrup. We'll start with the soy sauce. I do not have a specific amount. I just want you to cover it until everything is coated. So kind of mix it around. You don't want to see any white parts. So making sure that all the white parts have been covered with the soy sauce. That's how you know you have done enough. Now when it comes to the maple syrup, you don't want to add too much. So just the tiniest little dash. Think of 1/4 of the maple syrup as you added the soy sauce, ratio-wise. Woo, and then we do a little dance. Shake, shake, shake. Adding that little bit of sweetness of the maple syrup really does make a big difference. Just kind of balances out all of the salt. All right, now we add our dry ingredients. They're nice and mixed in on top of the wet ingredients. We'll shake, shake, shake. It's nice to have a big bowl where you have enough space to shake everything in. Add the rest of those. Yeah, it smells so good. Perfect. And now it is ready for the oven or the air fryer. Now you can use parchment paper on top of your pan if you'd want to go completely oil-free, but I do find that if I don't at least use parchment paper or spray some oil on this, they will stick a little bit, which is fine sometimes too. I'm okay with they sticking, but instead I'm just gonna spray into my sink this little thing. There we go. Just so it doesn't stick. The most minimal amount of oil, but it makes a big difference. Now we'll add the tofu to my pan. See, there is a little bit left over, but that's fine. And then you just want to make sure everything's evenly distributed. You can cook this in your oven. It will just take about 30 to 35 minutes, or the air fryer will save you a solid 15 minutes. It's gonna get so crunchy and so yummy. You can leave this as is. You do not have to spray any oil on top, but if you wanted to, again, option. I'm teaching you how to fish a tofu fish. But you could spray just a little bit of oil on top just to give it that crispy texture, but again, not necessary. You can totally skip that step. All right, we're gonna start 400 degrees for 10 minutes and check on it from there. while that is cooking, we're gonna make some fry sauce. I grew up in Utah and fry sauce was the most delicious thing to dip in my chicken nuggets or my French fries, so we're gonna make it a vegan version. I just wanna ask you real quick if you have signed up for your free 1-week meal guide. It is vegan, it is plant-based, it is delicious, and I change it out every single season. So if you're watching this in the spring, you'll get the spring meal guide. If you're watching it in the summer, it'll be the summer, or in the fall or winter. So make sure you sign up every time. Now you can skip this next step and just use vegan mayo. Any type of vegan mayo you find in your grocery store works. Otherwise, let's make some cashew cream. For a quick cashew cream, all we're doing is adding 2 parts of cashews and 1 part water. So this was a cup of cashews and a half a cup of water. Then we'll add the juice of half of a lemon. And now we will blend this up. If you do not have a high-speed blender, you will want to make sure that you've actually soaked your cashews first. But since I have a high-speed blender, I'm gonna go for it. Now it should be nice and creamy. If it is not, then you'll need to add a little bit more water. I'm just gonna top it off with just a dash of salt and then mix it up real quick, and then that's done. For the fry sauce, you really just eyeball it. So you'll place the ketchup. You want about half and half, honestly. So half ketchup and half cashew cream. If you like it more ketchup-y, then you can have more ketchup. It's gonna be a darker red color. If you like it more with the cream, then it's gonna be a lighter pink color. We'll just mix that together. It's super simple and super yummy. I also like to do cashew cream with some hot sauce. I'm gonna show you that too. And this is some beautiful fry sauce. Look at that. So good. Again, if you're used to it a little bit pinker, you can add a little bit more cashew cream. Yeah, perfect. Now, if you're more of a hot sauce person and less of a ketchup person, then here's the sauce for you. This one will be mostly cashew cream with as much hot sauce as you can handle. So it all depends on how spicy you like it. I'm using Frank's Red Hot Original Sauce. You can also use sriracha. It's actually really good in this too with some cashew cream. So yummy. Yum. Super yummy, creamy hot sauce. And now let's look at our super simple dips. Both of these are crazy simple and super yummy. Now let's check on our tofu. Okay, it was in at 400 degrees for 10 minutes and it is perfect. Oh my goodness, looks so yummy. Looks just like chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. Now because we sprayed them earlier, these do not stick at all. And if you want them even crunchier, you could leave them in for a couple more minutes. Just kind of depends on you. All right. So good, huh? I'm taking pictures, just staring, watching, waiting. All right, it is time for the taste test. Yum, I'm so excited. I love the fry sauce. I'm gonna try it now with the hot sauce. I love the flavor of hot sauce. This is so good. The best way to eat tofu, honestly, by far. It's so fast, it's so simple. It's a yummy finger food, perfect for kids. I love it. And this will not be spit out of anyone's mouth in this household because it is so yummy. Come down for chicken nuggets. There you go, guys. If you liked this tofu recipe, I know you'll absolutely love my other video where I show you 3 simple and delicious tofu recipes for beginners. So make sure you check that one out as well.